All right, guys, we are live again. We are live. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I typically go live at 4:30, but I had to get a haircut, and then I got out of work late. And I was thinking about doing the live Saturday, but I was like, let me just do a live on later tonight, and this is what I'm doing. I'm doing a live late night. I just had dinner, and I was like, let me just do it today, and that way tomorrow I could focus on other stuff. Because typically on the weekend, I will clean up my place, and then also I'm I'm looking up stuff, whether it's in the crypto space, as far as new information, and then also just again cleaning up my space and then running errands that I typically don't have time for on the weekend. So tomorrow I'm going to be cleaning up my place. I'm going to be cleaning my car because I have a subscription for my car that I pay $35 a month, and I don't know if I'm getting the best use out of it, and that's a one thing we might touch on, but yeah, I feel like the reason why I got it was because like I I was going like 2 3 times out of the month, and I was paying like 15 to 17 bucks every time I got a car wash. So they were running a special to I think it's like 30 bucks a month or 33. I actually think it was a little bit cheaper, but then they raised it. So I think it's like 30, 35, and you basically could bring your car as much as you want to get washed. So yeah, I got to go wash my car. I got to bring it over there. I'm not sure if I want to cut that subscription because I feel like as soon as I cut it, I'm probably going to go wash my car more. I feel like maybe this is just a time where I'm not bringing my car because I feel like a few months ago I was bringing it almost like every week. I think one week I actually brought it like twice a week, and it's fairly close to my house. So it's not like I I have to travel far to get there. I mean, it's not too close. It's not like 5 minutes away. I would say at least a 10 to 15 minute drive, but it's fairly close for me. So yeah, I got to go wash my car tomorrow. And then I'll probably have to wash some clothes. And then I typically do like some activity, some outdoor activity. I go to the gym. So that's what I do. But then on top of going to the gym, I also do an outdoor activity. So yeah. But yeah, I say all that to say that's why I'm not doing the live tomorrow. I'm doing the live today. But yeah, so the secrets to getting ahead financially. All right. So what is one of the main secrets? One of the main secrets for me, and this is pretty lot not a secret, but I don't think a lot of people do this. I think people have a real normal schedule, or early to most people is different, and then late to some people is a different story. But waking up early is probably the first way you're going to get ahead financially. Most people think waking up at 7:30 is early, and it's actually not that early. And I was watching a podcast. I'm not sure if you guys know Mike Rashid, but he was interviewing Brandon Carter, which is like this fitness guru, and he sells this online program. And he was I forget what he was talking about, but he I think he was asked a question. Mike Rashid asked him a question, and said, "How early do you wake up?" or something like that. And he replied and he said, "Yeah, I wake up like at 4 or 5." He's like, "Waking up at 7:30 is some loser shit," and I agree with that. Like I work. I mean, obviously I do the YouTube stuff, and then I do the crypto and whatnot. But I do work a 9 to 5, and even for my 9 to 5, I'm waking up at 4:30 to 5. So I can imagine, if I'm running a business, I would think. I mean, obviously it depends on the business, but I would think I would have to get up earlier to run run a business, all right, or at least get ahead, because you don't want to just stay stagnant in the same place, right? So if you're running a business and let's say you've been operating for 4 to 5 years and you're still making, 60 or 70K a year, obviously you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're not waking up early to put some more work in. Maybe you're not adopting to the new technologies out there to make your business run a lot better, to bring in more revenue. Whatever the case may be, if you're making the same money 5 years straight, then you're probably not doing something correct. So yeah, waking up early is one of those things where I think everybody should be doing, especially if you want to get ahead financially. And it's not just waking up early, right? Some people just wake up early and they don't do anything. It's waking up early and being productive. You need to wake up early and have a plan on what you're going to do when you wake up. Whether it's, you have your morning routine, whether you get up, make your bed, meditate, whether you get your food, you take your supplements, have some type of morning routine and make sure you're waking up early, and then also getting to something productive, whether it's working on a business, maybe doing some research, and just moving forward and what you need to do to get ahead financially. So yeah, waking up. And so for me, I think a good time to wake up, obviously, is before 7:30. I think if you get your day started at 7:30, and when I say get started, like actually doing the productive things, maybe you have a business, you need to run some meetings, or again, maybe it's doing some research or reading up on a sector that you're invested in. But I think if you wake up at 5:30 and that's when you start your morning routine, I think that's a good time to start waking up, 5:30, and then maybe start working around 6:30 to 7:30. I think that's a good time frame to keep. But there's some people that I know that, I mean, not I know them not because they're like my friends or they're people that I hang around with, because I typically don't like to hang around people that are not doing what I'm doing, or at least close to what I'm doing. So, but I know people that say, oh, it's the weekend, I'm gonna sleep until 11, or they sleep until, I know some people that sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's crazy stuff. And sometimes they don't even go to sleep that late to be waking up that late, right? So you need to you need to ask yourself, one, okay, like, am I at where I want to be financially? And then two, say, okay, what time am I waking up and being productive, and am I putting myself in the best position to get ahead, right? Because if you're waking up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and you're starting your day, because if you really think about it, when you wake up, I mean, for me, like, you have a morning routine. So if you wake up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, you're really not going to start getting to work until 8 or 9, right? And that for me, that's pretty late to get your day started. So, and like I said, for me, my job, I start working at 7:30, and sometimes even earlier than that. I would say 6 to 7, or 6 to 6:30. But I'm waking up at 5:30. I have my morning routine, which takes about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on, if depending on the stuff that I do, if I want to do it for longer or not. But it's typically like 40 minutes to an hour, and I do the same thing every morning, and then from there I start to get productive. But yeah, I think a lot of you should start waking up early, and I think it's crucial because we don't have that much time in the day. If you think about it, you're not going to be working all day, right? So, and I think too, the reason why it's good to wake up early, because not a lot of people wake up early, so you're not going to have that many distractions. I notice, especially when I go to work. Like, if I go to work, and like if I ever went to work at 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning, I know like I wouldn't be able to get anything done at work. And this is when I go to the office. I work from home like 3 days out of the week, and then I go 2 days into the office. But like, if I went to work during like when it was busy, like 9 to 10, when everybody's coming in and stuff, like, you wouldn't even be able to get anything done, because as soon as you sit down, somebody's going to come and talk to you. And I know for a lot of you, that's the situation, because most of you do go into an office, and if you go in there late, you're not as productive, right? Or maybe waking up early allows you to get some stuff done at home before you go to work, right? Because if you're waking up at those late times, you just have enough time to get to work. Sorry, my like something in my throat. Maybe you just have enough time to just get to work, and you don't really have enough time to do something productive before work, right? Because I know for most of us, we have the job, but then we also have, aspirations outside the job, and we want to get stuff done outside the job, and we don't have time for that during the week, right? If you go to work from 9 to 5, you get out of work, let's say 4:35, you come home, maybe some of you do have kids, so that's a responsibility, and you don't have time after work to get stuff done. For those of you that have other obligations, so waking up early is going to give you that time in the morning to move forward on those investments or those business ideas. So yeah, I think waking up early is one of the secrets to getting ahead financially. And yeah, no, I don't think a lot of people are doing that. All right, let's see. So number two is this is what I've found out too. So let's say you're in your early 20s, or maybe you're not in your early 20s. Maybe you're in your 30s. This is what can apply for all ranges, but I typically, want I this is like for people kind of just starting off. More focus on people starting off because you get to save a lot more when you don't move out. So like what I'm trying to get to is like people that are young, they typically live with their parents or whatever the case may be. And they get to save up some money, like whether it's 10 to 20,000. And what people don't know, the secret is like you could stay with that 10 to 20,000 and not say, and I'm not saying to do this, I'm not saying to not save any additional money, but there's been periods of time where I wasn't able to put additional money for my job because I just had to meet other obligations and stuff like that. But the fact that I saved up to that 10 to 20,000, and then just reinvested that 10 to 20,000, as long as I didn't lose it and I just kept growing it, I could keep on investing, right? Maybe I took that 10,000, it turned to 20,000, and then it's just from the same batch, right? I didn't put any additional money into that pot to keep growing it. And I think that's one of the secrets, right? You don't necessarily need to keep saving. I think it's more of focusing on the investments that you choose and making sure you can get at least a double, or maybe a triple in some cases, right? I typically like to look for doubles. I like to double my money. I don't like to shoot for, I don't like, obviously in the crypto space, you do get 5 to 10X's pretty easy, but I think if you could save up to a good amount, and I think anybody could save up to 10 to 20,000 bucks, and you could implement a strategy in which you could double that money. You can find investments that continue to double that money for you. You could stay with that same initial amount, right? If I started with 20,000, I keep doubling it. As long as I don't lose it, I don't always have to keep saving. And this is important because a lot of you that do work a 9 to 5, you do elect to get a 401k, and you don't really get to do anything with your 401k, right? You get the minimal, I wouldn't say the minimal return, but you get whatever usually the market brings, which is like 5 to 6% a year, right? But you don't get to take that money and invest it on your own. And I think I've said this before in one of my other videos, but I think people need to take advantage of their own money and invest it. Now, again, you don't have to be the expert, but I don't think you could get doubles in the 401k like you could if you just had your money in your own brokerage account and you were investing on your own. And I would suggest, again, I'm not saying to get into like some low cap, market cap stocks and go crazy and go trading each and every day, but I think the average person could find a Tesla. I think the average person could find an Nvidia as long as you keep up with the news and things like that. But yeah, if you start off with an initial, if you start off with an initial amount of 20,000, then you move out. Typically, when you move out the house, you have all these expenses, and you're not able to put away the same money you used to put away when you lived at home, right? So it's good to get a nest egg first, and as long as you understand, like, okay, as long as I keep doubling this, I don't really need to add, I could add to it, but as long as I know that I'm doubling it, and I keep flipping this, it's okay to stay with that initial amount. And I think that will help people, because some people, don't leave their house with an initial nest egg. Maybe it's not as small, or maybe it's not specifically for investing, or maybe it's not invested at all. And once they get out of the house, they feel like they have to. They feel like they can't invest. They can't feel like they can't save unless it's coming from their paycheck. And I think if they do that before they leave, I think it'll be beneficial to that person. Now, obviously, you could do this outside, like when you leave your home, if you're making a good salary, if you don't have debt and stuff like that. But I see typically when people move out for the first time, or once they've been out of the house for 3 to 5 years, they accrue expenses, right? They either get into a nicer place, or just they're not used to the expenses that they didn't have. Um, they didn't have when they were living at home. So I think it's important to take advantage of living at home and saving up a good amount, and just saying, hey, I saved up to 15,000, and I am not going to lose this 15,000. I'm going to double it, right? I don't have to kill. Maybe I don't even have to. You don't have to get a double each year, right? Maybe you just make 30 to 40% on your money, or maybe the standard 6 to 7%, depending on what you're investing in, right? If you're investing on your own, you'll probably get a lot more. If you play it safe, I say, for me, like, if you listen to Richard Fain, he talks about the same investments all the time, all the time, all the time. ETFs, VOO, VTG, VIG, like all the Vanguard. He talks about all the Vanguard ETFs. And then he goes into the Magnificent Seven. You don't need to be a genius to invest in the Magnificent Seven, right? It's NVIDIA, I believe. It's Netflix. It's Apple. It's Microsoft. What else? NVIDIA, Microsoft, Tesla, right? Facebook. I don't know if I said Facebook, and something else. I don't know if no, Twitter's not public. Twitter's still private. But yeah, so the big seven companies, right? And for the ones that are high, like tech, high growth, those can give you that double if you hold it, for 2 to 3 years, right? And for me, like, most people don't agree with this, because people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't go all in." But for one of those companies to go bankrupt, a lot of things need to go wrong, right? Basically, the country needs to collapse. Like, for a company like Apple or Tesla to go bankrupt, something needs to go completely wrong. So I wouldn't mind putting, my whole 20,000, my whole 40,000 in Tesla. Not forever, right? I don't think you should be in one stock forever, but have a plan to say, okay, I'm gonna get into Tesla. Tesla right now is sitting at $200. Once it gets to 350, I'm out. I'm taking my I take my original 20,000. I take my whatever, it's 15, 20,000 in profit. Well, it wouldn't be 20,000, but maybe like 15,000 in profit. And now I have 35, and now I'm looking for the next play. I'm going to take this 35, put this 35 in there. I turn now, and then you get another double, and that's 70, and you just keep doubling, right? You didn't put anything extra in it, is basically what I'm trying to say, right? And that is the secret, because a lot of you think you have to keep saving and putting money in. And it's good to put money in, but most of the money you make is going to be from the doubles you get, right? So, right, if I keep doubling my money, I'm okay. And I'm not saying don't put additional. You can always save additional money, right? Maybe, put that money to the side in a savings account so you could get to 10,000. Maybe you can add it to that pile of money. But, I say it's a secret because a lot of you need to meet expenses on a monthly basis. And maybe that money that you're going to save, maybe you can use it to meet those expenses and not be so tight. But just know that you have that, the nest egg that you initially save is doubling for you and you're making the right moves with that. So that's a secret that I think people should know about. And I think it's very, very helpful. So, yeah, that is number two. Number two. Number three, the third investment or the secret to your finances is getting a reliable news source, right? So I was telling you guys about the Palm Beach Confidential thing that I bought. It's 2,500, or I paid 2,500 bucks for it, and basically they give you, they give me, not you, but they give me a overview of quality crypto projects that I may be interested in investing in, right? So a lot of you will pay for like a mentorship or pay for a program and you think, okay, that's it. I paid for this program and then I did all the work, right? No, like you have to put work in. That's like you paying for a gym program, right? And like, that's it. You don't do any of the workouts. You don't go to any of the classes. You don't do anything to, make the program actually work. So I bought that Palm Beach subscription with the intention of using it as a guideline to make my crypto investment decisions, right? It wasn't the end all be all for my investments, but I used it as a tool, right? So I paid 2,500 for that, and then it's 200 bucks a year to maintain that subscription. And again, if you guys didn't see what I said in that live stream, I basically said, the person that was running the crypto section for that newsletter basically was doing some scammy stuff. Not, I just say he was in violation of the newsletter policy, right? So he basically had a consulting agreement with this company that he was, the cryptos and the stocks that company was investing in, he was recommending it to the Palm Beach subscribers, right? And he was getting paid for that, which he's not supposed to do. Their research is supposed to be independent. They're not supposed to get paid for the things they recommend because, right? If somebody's holds a position in an asset and they're paying you to promote this, are they promoting the best assets for the subscribers? But luckily for me, like I said, I didn't use that newsletter to just make my investment decisions for me. Crypto projects they're a little bit different than stocks because you could really get into the people that run the crypto project. Like I said, Discord is a very good place. Like if you want to know about a crypto project, Discord is a very good place where you can go to keep up with the project, see, who's working on the project. Are they qualified? Like, well, you could see who it is and then you could go to LinkedIn and see, what are their credentials? Is the project making new developments? Are they, working on the software and things like that? So these are things that you could do. Good thing, like that's the good thing about crypto projects. You could go and do your own due diligence, and you don't really need to be in certain rooms or know certain people to get this information. You could do it on your own, and that's basically what I did. So I didn't really lose any money from that. All the projects I picked are like in the top 100 to top 200. I think that's another tip too. Like for if you're invested in the crypto space, like if you go to CoinMarketCap and you look at the top 100 to 200 coins, I think if you stay within that, I think you'll be okay. Now, I'm not saying all those coins are going to make you money, right? But I think it's safe to say that those coins have have put in a good enough work for, and I would say the top 100. I wouldn't say the top 200, because if you fall out of the top 100, I'm not saying, they're bad projects, but if you really want to stay safe, stay in the top 100 and also do your research, right? Again, it's not, oh, they're in the top 100. I just pick any crypto in the top 100 and I invest in it. That's not going to work for you either. But yeah, I think everybody should have a news outlet source where they could go to and say, okay, I specialize in real estate. I have this real estate newsletter. Or I have this real estate articles that come to me every day that talk about, or week that talk about real estate. Oh, I'm in stocks. I'm in these specific stocks. Maybe I'm signed up for this newsletter that tells me about Tesla, right? When Tesla, what Tesla's earnings are going to look like, what new factories Tesla is going to come out with, what new cars are they going to come with. I actually heard Tesla's actually trying to come out with a car that's like 25,000 or lower electric. So that's going to be a game changer. But yeah, it's just having a news outlet source to, keep you up to date with your investments. You can't make informed decisions if you don't have information, right? You're just not going to be able to do that. So, and it's not like you get this information and you're going to make a move. It's just having a high level overview of what's going on. A lot of you don't know what's going on because a lot of you don't invest on your own. And I think a lot of you should get a brokerage account so you can invest on your own, right? So you can build up a position. Again, maybe you just have a $10,000 to $20,000 position in your own brokerage account and you just keep doubling that. Double. Just look for the double, right? Take that 10,000, now you have 20,000. And I honestly just recommend doing so much research that you could just put all that money in one play. I know people are going to say, oh, you're not diversified, you can't do this thing. But again, if you stick to high quality stocks, I would say you just need to be in something that, everything needs to hit the fan for this thing to go. And if I lose my money in a play like that, I'm okay with it, right? If everything just has to go to shit before I lose all my money, I'm good with that type of play, right? Because being in it, you're not going to get ahead financially. And that's the secret, right? That's another secret. You're not going to get ahead financially just doing getting that 6% a year, right? Like 7% a year. It'll work if you had a lot of money, but a lot of you don't have a lot of money. You need to get to that big, pot of gold, that big nest egg, so you can then maybe getting a 6 to 7% of return on that money each year will make sense. But you need to get there first. If you're not there, it's not gonna make sense to just do those little. Oh, like I have 20,000, but I'm only gonna go 1,500 in this thing. That's why I put so much emphasis on the research. That way, I put all this 20,000 into a play and I double it, right? So, yeah, those are the secrets. I just wanted to get on and talk about that before I get off today. Like I said, I was going to do a live tomorrow morning, but I was like, let me just do it today. And I honestly think this is the longest live. Richard does his for an hour, which it's I don't think it's that hard to do it for an hour. I actually take that back. It probably is a lot. I just need to probably have more things to talk about. But yeah, this one's probably my longest live right now because we're at 28 minutes and 56 seconds. Let's see. I don't think no comments came in. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. The secrets. So again, the secrets to wealth are: one, waking up early, right? You need to wake up early. You're not going to get ahead. There's so many people that are like trying to get ahead and they're waking up early. So you're competing against them, right? So you need to get up early. Two, you need to if you're living with somebody right now, if you're in your early years, try to get to that nest egg so you could just keep investing with that same nest egg, right? So if it's 10 to 20,000 and you move out and you say, okay, I have a lot of stuff to pay for, I can't really save that much, but at least if I have that initial nest egg of 10 to 20,000, I could keep working with that and doubling that and getting to my end goal, right? And then 3, having a news outlet source to make you make the best investment decisions. I think those are the 3 secrets to wealth, and if you follow those, I think you'll be in good shape. All right. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Actually, and also, so I put out a post on my page saying I'm just going to do the lives, which is true, but I do have a couple more videos that I have in the stash that are going to come out. Well, just one more, actually. I have one more this Sunday, and that one's going to be about 5 reasons why paper assets are better than real estate. So check that out. I think it's a really good video, and I think most people should be investing in paper assets. Opposed to real estate, and in that video, see why. I gave 5 reasons why. Now I'm not saying I don't think real estate is a bad investment, but I think for the average investor, I think paper assets are just better. But yeah, that video is coming out Sunday, so make sure you guys watch that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.